We're going to move on to a Georgia family's fight to reopen the investigation into the death of their teenage son. His body was found in January in a rolled-up gym mat at his school. The authorities said it was a freak accident, but the family ordered a private autopsy, and the conclusion was that his death was a homicide. ABC's Matt Gutman has their story.
Vindication, but still no justice. That's what Kendrick Johnson's family says they have this morning, thanks to a new report backing up their belief their son was murdered.
When I seen my son's body and seen the condition he was in and the way he looked it, I knew it was an accident.
The 17-year-old was found dead inside a large rolled-up wrestling mat at his high school gym in January. The original coroner's report and a state police investigation concluded his death was a freak accident, that Kendrick somehow suffocated after getting stuck inside the mat while reaching in to find a shoe.
I went to school that morning because he didn't come home that night, and I know it was unusual for Kendrick not to call or not even to come home. So the deputy that was on call, she came up to me and grabbed me and my daughter and hugged her, and I asked her, was it my child, and she said yes.
Unconvinced, his parents hired their own private medical examiner. And the new autopsy report reveals Kendrick died from a blow to his neck. And this was no accident. Kendrick's father demonstrated just how unlikely the accident scenario seems to be, taking this picture of himself trying to squeeze into a similar rolled-up mat.
What my clients want are answers that can only be acquired through an objective, independent, and thorough investigation.
For now, the sheriff and state investigators say they stand by their findings and will not reopen the case. But this morning, the Georgia U.S. Attorney tells ABC News he's seen the new report and is continuing to monitor and evaluate the situation.
Kendrick was the child that every parent dreamed to have. We want to see justice served. He's deserves justice. You keep pushing. You push and push and push until the truth come out.
For Good Morning America, Matt Gutman, ABC News, New York.
We're going to bring in ABC Chief Legal Affairs anchor Dan Abrams right now, and our heart goes out to this family. And what are the chances that they can get the case reopened?
Pretty slim, but you can understand from their perspective, right? The idea that their healthy, young, strong son goes to school, tries to grab a sneaker out of a gym mat rolled up, and dies because he gets stuck in there. Their position is, come on. There's no way that could have happened. There must have been something more here. The problem is the authorities who've been investigating it thus far have said they think that this was just a freak accident based not just on where he was found, but based on the evidence that was found there, based on surveillance tapes, based on the fact that no one else heard or saw him, etc. But the family says there's still a lot of suspicious circumstances.
Yeah, and their investigator came up with something different when they had the body exhumed. The coroners are, boy, they work really hard, and many of them are overworked, and like many of us, sometimes mistakes are made.
Absolutely.
Could it be?
And if the authorities think that there's a possibility that there was a mistake, they will reconsider it. The problem is they haven't really provided any new evidence up to this point. What they've done is they've done a new analysis of the evidence that already existed. And the state authorities would say, look, we did the autopsy very close to the time of death. They had to exhume the body and did it later.
Right.
I'm sure they're not criticizing openly this coroner's report, but basically they're saying we're not willing at this point to say we got it wrong or might have gotten it wrong, and as a result reopen the investigation. They are going to need something else here, some sort of potential motive, some sort of potential witness, somebody who comes forward and gives them that little nugget that will lead the authorities to act. I think that's what they're going to do.
Even though you saw the father reenacting, it did seem like it would be highly unlikely that something like that could happen. But
yeah, but I think that they're going to need a little something.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, Dan, thanks very much. Sam?